All right, y'all, what it do, y'all? So I'm out here hooking up this, or finishing up these headlights. I thought I had it done. I had it all wired in and everything. Again, if you guys saw my last video, I said I fried the other ballast because I was messing with the wiring and all and whatnot. Long story. If I told you guys how I did it and how I wired it, you'd probably get confused. It'd probably make for a boring video, and I'm not just gonna do that. So, So I came out here in hopes that I could just hook up the ballast and everything would work. Well, it didn't. Those two headlights worked. The new inside headlight turned on, but this outside one didn't shut on. I also made some weird ass noise, so I went ahead and shut it off in hopes I didn't fry something else. Well, it actually didn't turn on right away when I disconnected everything, but then it started working, so I don't know what happened. But now they work like normal. I'm just gonna fast forward. What it came to be probably, and this is my thought, and again, I'm no wiring expert. I suck at wiring, and that's probably why I blew that ballast. But being that these are HIDs and they're not originally set up for this old school type of system, and then they probably put a lot of load on that normal OG headlight switch, it just did not work. These old style harnesses here have two sides. They have a low beam and a high beam, and then you have your ground. So the low beam runs on its own wiring harness, and then the high beam runs its own harness. The brown wires here are the low beam side, the green are the high beam side. So just to make a long story short, what I decided to do, two headlights on the low beam side and then two headlights on the high beam side. That way, I can still have all four lights on at the same time, but I can also just have the two low beam or the normal two outside lights on at the same time if I want. So basically, I can have two normal headlights on like usual, the two outside lights, and then I can have all four on at the same time if I turn on the high beams, which are the inside lights. At the end of the day, that probably is safer because I really didn't think about how bright four HIDs might be. And driving around like that all the time might not be the smartest. However, it would be cool to, like, you know, at car shows or nightly cruises or something like that, to have them all four come on. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Or if I just want to flip the halo switches and have the halos come on, that would be cool too. Also, it kind of works in my benefit because the two new HIDs that I ordered, the setups are a little bit different than my two normal ones that I had before, because the two new ones actually run off a controller. I don't know if you guys can see that little black box over there right next to the ballast. So I guess that's a relay, and I didn't know that there was a relay inside there. And what it does is it controls both sides of the headlights. It powers them both on. So it has one plug, headlight plug that looks like this, that plugs into your normal headlight harness. The other end of that controller runs all the way over here to this side and plugs into the ballast, and then the ballast plugs directly into the HID, leaving you with a spare open pigtail from your harness. So what I decided to do is basically hook up a relay using that spare pigtail. You can actually pop the little wires out. If you guys didn't know, there's a little, like this one here, there's a little tab in the back that you can push down, and then they slide right out. So I actually decided to hook up a relay to the low beam side, which is the two outside lights for me, and that way it would also help assist with some of the load on the two normal headlights. And then when I had the two inside lights on, it has its own relay with the controller, and that way it wasn't drawing so much off of my system. So that's another thing that controller does as well too, I guess, is it helps assist with some of the draw on your system as well too. And I always kind of wanted to hook up a relay to these headlights anyway, so it all actually worked out good. Only thing is my thought was with this is by hooking the two inside lights up to the bright side of the harness, the green wires, is that I could flip the switch, the bright switch in my car, and it would turn them on. Well, it does. However, by flipping that switch, it actually turns off the low beams, which would basically turn off my 2 outside lights. So if I turn on the headlights, the low beams are on. If I flip the brights, and the 2 inside lights would turn on, but excuse me, the outside lights would shut off. So in theory, it works. In reality, it actually works, but it doesn't leave all 4 headlights on at the same time. So on a regular OG setup, you have your 2 lights on each side. You got your low beam and your high beam, and then you have your high beam only. Well, I think when you hit the brights, it shuts off the low beam, flips on the high beam, and then flips on this high beam. So then you have all 4 lights on at high beam. So that didn't work. So what I'll probably have to do is, I actually tested it out, y'all, and that's why I have this jump box here. So I turned on the headlights. All right, so we got the normal headlights on. So the 2 outside lights are on both sides. I turned this light off so you guys can kind of see a little better. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on my jump box here, and I'm gonna supply power to the high beam side, which is hooked up to the 2 inside lights. So let me get my flashlight so I can see. So I'm gonna apply power to that green wire down there. Got my jump box, I'm gonna turn it on. Apply power. And let's see if these other lights come on. So I don't know if you guys saw that. Let's see how much brighter it's getting. Hold on, I'll shut them off. There, let's see if I can get a closer look. Down there. See them turn on. So they're warming up right now. Now I got both of them on. I just shut it off, turned it back on. All right, let me shut all this off, y'all, before I shock somebody. As you can see, it does work. And the only thing that I'm gonna have to do to make it work is I'm gonna have to tie in a switch, a separate switch from the inside, and tie it into the high beam side of the harness, and then just run my own separate switch. So that way, if I want them all 4 on at the same time, I can. But if I just want to run normal style, I can too. So in the long run, it's probably better that way. That way I don't have them all 4 on at the same time all the time. And I'm not getting in trouble, not getting tickets, not, blinding people coming down the road. Then I can also actually use them as my brights too, because I'm pretty sure they're probably bright as hell with all 4 of them. They're 6K headlights, or like 12K on each side, so pretty sure they're pretty damn bright. I'm happy with it. I wanted all 4 of them on at the same time, and this way I can still do it. And I think it's with this old style harness, is just too much wattage and power and amperage on this old style harness, especially on that normal headlight switch on this old school. It's just another way that you guys can just add, newer stuff to an old school without really, tearing it up too much, and without paying, $200 to $300 for a whole new octane lighting setup. You can still do it, at a budget price. It just takes a little bit longer to figure it out, but you can get it done. Also, too, you have to, move some wires around, as far as, take a wire or 2 out. What I did on the 2 outside lights is I took the high beam wire out. I just pulled it out of the little housing here, so that way when I hit the brights on accident or something, it didn't turn on the brights. On the inside lights over there, since I'm only using that particular pigtail, you're good because you only have the green wire on the bright side anyway, so that's the only wire that you need with the ground. That way the headlights, when they're on, they're only running the 2 outside lights, and then I'll make a separate switch for the 2 inside lights, and they'll all come on at the same time. So I hope that makes sense, y'all. Again, I don't mean to confuse anybody, but that is a way that you can make all 4 lights work. You'll probably have some trouble trying to plug in all of these on your normal setup on an old school. I think it's just too much amperage, too much draw on the stock headlight switch, and this normal OG setup, it just won't work right. And if it does, it probably will fry the ballast or fry something, or fry a wire or something. So anyways, I hope that helps, y'all. Shoot, I don't got nothing else. I'm just gonna go in for the night, and then tomorrow I'll probably finish up the wiring. I'll move all these relays, or this relay and all the wiring on that side so it's closer to the battery, and then I'll tidy all this up, and then we good to go. So anyways, y'all, I hope that helps y'all out there. Not the most exciting video, but it's something. And shoot, y'all, we making waves. Oh, I'll probably do a kind of like a walk around on this car, like everything that I've done on the car up until now, you know, in regards to the swap, you know, the AC, just the upgrades, everything that I've done, you know, from the drivetrain, the rear end. I mean, pretty much everything that, when the hood closed, everything that you don't see has been almost upgraded except for the front suspension. Everything else has been upgraded, and I've touched nothing in the inside besides the console, and that's really it. So I've decided that maybe a walk around and what I've done to the car would be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. When the weather clears up, I can attack that. So anyways, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Do all that good stuff. I appreciate everybody out there. I appreciate all the new subscribers, man. This channel has been nothing but a blessing to me, and meeting so many new people has been awesome. So anyways, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and head out. It's getting cold, and I'll holla at y'all later.